amigos, mi nombre es Mauricio Rodríguez y estamos aquí con invitado de lujo. Tenemos a Trent Richardson en las instalaciones de los Caudillos de Chihuahua. Está de visita por aquí en México y tenemos la oportunidad de hacer unas cuantas preguntas, por supuesto, de su carrera y también de lo que ha vivido aquí en México y de lo que ha visto en el fútbol americano. Así que Trent, bienvenido. Trent, welcome. How are you, man?
I'm good, man. How are you doing?
Muy bien. I'm good. Dice que está bien, por supuesto. Y bueno, Trent, I wanted to start off by asking you, we need to start off with this. How has your time in Mexico been? And of course, have you been here before? Or is this your first time in Mexico? Is it your first time in Chihuahua? And have you liked it?
This is my first time being in Mexico and being out. I went on a cruise actually this time last year.
All right.
Alabama, the Crimson Tide cruise they have every year. And my first cruise was last year, and it was right, like exactly at this time. I got a picture on my phone pop up as memories, like a day from yesterday.
That's crazy.
It was my first time being in. I went to Cabo and Progreso, but I've never been out or actually seen the city or been around the state. Never been in Chihuahua. It was first time. I was even. I didn't want to mess up the name when I was first trying to say the name. Because I know how that is to people. I mean, people, take their name serious up their state. Because of me, I'm from Florida, and so people be like, "Oh, you from Pensacola? You from Alabama?" I'm like, "No, I'm not from Alabama. I'm from Pensacola. I'm from Florida." But man, it's been fun. I enjoyed every bit of it, and it haven't been a dull moment yet. It's been exciting. The food is good. The people is nice. It's been a lot to learn and a lot of humbling grounds here too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a special moment for me because it's the first time I've been, out since last year without my kids because I went on a cruise by myself. So it's the first time I've ever been out this whole year through the whole pandemic because I always got them with me and with me 24/7. I'm with them 24/7, I guess. I guess I'm a soccer dad now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and my kids, they all do sports, and so I'm just always on the go with them, and it's fun and it's a special time for me because it's stuff that that my dad never got to do with me, and so when I look at stuff like this, it's special for me because I always want them to know that you have somebody at every practice, at every game. I try to make it to much stuff as I can, not just football or not just sports. I try to make it to all their presentation for their awards shows that they have, like for schools and stuff like that, to their plays. I get to do stuff like that. Stuff I did get to do when I was in the NFL. Like I didn't get to go to my girls' gymnastic meets or their cheerleading practice or their competition stuff like that or daddy daughters dance. And now they're 14 and 12. They don't want nothing to do with me now. They're always on their phone. So it's been a learning experience, and seeing the other side of things, man. It's been great for real.
You mentioned during the press release, you mentioned your kids also and the importance of being a good father. You also were involved in or are still involved in a youth football league in Alabama, right? How has that been for you and what have you learned there?
It's been amazing to me because I played Little League football and I remember the times that my coaches had put into me and came and got me for practices and that I spent the night before the game at their house and stuff like that. And so a lot of stuff that I do for Little League kids, for youth programs, I do, it's been taught. It's been ingrained in me.
Yeah.
So it's been fun, but it's been a blessing and a learning experience too because I've noticed a lot in Little League sports, a lot of dads are moms. I mean, a lot of moms are dads in Little League, so you don't see a lot of dads at practice. You don't see a lot of people coming out to support their kids, and I know it's a lot of people who don't have, and so being able to give back and go, just to go coach some of these kids and throw the football with them and teach them something. It's been a special experience for me because at first I thought I was going to do it, I was just doing it for my kids, but then when I got deep into it and started learning some of these kids and seeing what some of these kids are going through. It was just like, man, these kids are like me all over again, and I don't want to see them go through the same struggles I went through, and knowing that these kids don't have a father figure or uncle or or a brother to just show them, or I see a lot of kids now have more pressure on them more than ever that they got to make it to the league, and they got to it's either for their parents of my son gonna make it to the NFL or NBA or some type of sports, or they're going to turn to rapping, or something like that. And that's not for everybody. That's a dream, and so it's hard to actually live it and to be able to to do it at a high level. It's tough. So everybody's not going to be LeBron James. Everybody's not going to be Julio Jones. Everybody's not going to be Trent Richardson. Everybody's not going to be Lil Wayne. Everybody's not going to be Jay-Z. So at the end of the day, you got to find what you're good at, and and be the best at to be at your best ability. So one thing we try to preach in these little league programs for me, myself, and TR3, and it's TR3 Youth Sports Alliance. Y'all make sure y'all go watch, and because we're gonna be streaming this year, we're gonna be putting a show together.
Oh, that's great.
For Netflix and stuff like that. So. Well, I can't say Netflix this yet, but we're putting something together. But we actually teamed up with Snoop Dogg, and so whoever win our state program, they go to Snoop national games automatically. And so it's special. You play against teams from Hawaii, Canada, Ohio, California, Texas. Play, so Outlaws will be there sometime. From the Typha Show, the Friday Night Types. So a lot of great programs. But one thing I have learned, is teaching the kids the mindset. And it's the mindset to strive to be the best and never to let nobody tell you what you can do, because men have no say.
I wanted to ask you about your experience, because you have a very unique experience in having played for Alabama, first of all, having played in the NFL, having played in the CFL, having played in the AAF, and you have like this broad point of view of where each league stands and what sports leagues should aspire to be. And I wanted to ask you about that experience and that point of view that you might have, which is pretty unique, I think, having played in all of these leagues.
Yeah, and it's special because when you come from a place like Alabama, you go to a place where the tradition is so big, and at the time we was trying to fight to get back to that tradition of winning and bringing a championship to Tuscaloosa and to the state of Alabama, and we did. We succeeded. My class had 3 national championships. Yeah. And Julio class, started off with bringing the guys in that they needed for, I call them yard dogs. We needed the yard dogs to go and get back to the roots of the whole tradition of winning and having that mindset. And so when you come from a place like that that's being so family oriented, and like I remember my first kind of coaching moment I got from Nick Saban. He was kind of like, and it was Nick and Julio, and it's when the guy that was recruiting me had left, and he had went to Tennessee with Lane Kiffin. And Julio, Coach Saban had called, Julio had called me. He was like, hey, well, you want to go there, you might play against us. It is what it is. Yeah. So you go there you want to, we're gonna whoop on you anyway. And so, and Nick kind of reiterated that, and it was just a moment that, for me, it was a coaching moment that, hey, no matter what, that coach don't make, that recruiter don't make you, and no matter where you go, it's going to be competition. So, at the end of the day, for me, the mindset was like we had 8 different backs when I came in. I didn't care, and Eddie Lacy came in with me, so that made 10 of us. Me and Eddie made 3 on transfer, and the other 3 never seen the field. And so then it became, me and Mark, and Eddie got redshirted. So it was more of a mindset of, buying into the process. And so coming from that and going to the NFL was a step down. And what I mean, because you didn't have that guy, like Nick Saban and Coach Burns, my running back coach, telling you, hey, this is what you need to be doing A to Z, not from A to B, A to Z. When you get to the NFL, you left on your own with everything. I mean, we had massage therapists, we had psychologists, sports psychologists, we had everything from tutors and make sure that we did our homework. We had planned meals, we had eating meals and stuff like that. We had all types of stuff, man. When you get to the NFL, all that stuff stopped. You got to do it on your own. But I have been successful at each level. And when I went to Canada, I went down there, I was successful. And Canada was more fun for me because it was more getting back to the game and loving the game again. Because the NFL was so much of a business, it just took the game from me. It took the fun from me. And so when you go around a place like that, and I'm not saying the NFL is bad, but I'm sitting there saying you got to know how to handle your business and be a businessman when you're in the NFL. And when you're young and you get buku money, like it's something you never seen you're mature to. And so for me, when I went to Canada, I was learning how to love the game again. When I went to the Lions, I fell in love with the game all over again. And so what I mean by that, like I was in love with studying. I was in love with being on time. I was in love with just being in the meeting room. I was in love with the locker room. Like I was in love with the coaching staff. I was in love with just being around the game again. And so it became fun, and it wasn't a job. And so one thing I have realized when something becomes, even if you're working, when something becomes a job and it's not fun, you might not want to be into that, or might want to find a way to make this fun. I mean, I'm pretty sure you have fun doing your job. You get to be around players, you get to be on the sideline, you get to be on the radio. That's something fun for you. It's not just a job, it's something you enjoy.
Yeah.
So when you don't enjoy it, you need to look somewhere else. So you need to find a way to make sure that you enjoy it.
You went to the AAF. You led the league in touchdowns. If I'm not mistaken, you had 12 scoring touchdowns, and that's also like a big question that I wanted to ask you. Like, I'm not talking about the league here. I'm not talking about any specific league. But do you feel ready and willing to suit up and go play football professionally?
Man, if I got to suit up, man, I can suit up. And football for me is gonna always be football. And some stuff you just don't lose. And for me, like I said, it's a mindset of me want to be a winner, and me want to just loving the game of football. And for me, I think now I'm more successful of being a professional football player because I know the business, and that I have two little boys that just love their dad and look up to their dad, and my kids will tell you now, like, I'm their hero, I've been there for my girls, but when you have girls, it's different. You got to be that in a whole different, other way. But when you got these boys that look up to you and want to be, you or better than you, you got to teach them and lead them in a different way. That's just like with Dick Saban. He's a leader. He's a father figure to us. And so the way that he leads us to pursue and get to the next level is something that we never had. And so it's different. And so for everything he's taught me, Coach Burns, like I put it into my everyday lives. And so even with, like, if we go suit up right now, you tell me you're gonna make a tackle, I'm gonna have to run you over. And that's just my mindset. I can't sit up there and say that I can be a better reporter than you. Because at the end of the day, no matter what, you gotta outdo me no matter what. And that's just the mindset you gotta have.
Of course.
You want to be the best at all time.
Of course, yeah, it's the competition.
Yeah. And
actually, like, speaking about your experience as a professional athlete, if you collaborate with the Caudillos in an advisor capacity, if you become an advisor for this team, or you hop on board as a business partner, what do you feel like you can bring to the table to help Mexico take professional football, to the next level?
Really just, get them to buy into the process and showing them, everything I've been through and I've seen at each level, to not make the same mistakes I've made and show them, like, hey, this is what it takes to get to the next level. And when you get there, this is how you stay there. And this is how you be better. This is how you up your game to the next level. So, as far as, having better facilities, stadiums, making the players feel at home, building a family, oriented place, being one with the fans, giving them more access, being more in the community, being able to be comfortable, having fun with the game, being able to reach out to people to, some people, people don't realize, like, football, being in sports is a lot. Some people don't know how to turn it off. Some people don't know how to, be able to, go home and be a regular person, or, try to be a regular person. Sometimes you might need to go take a walk sometime, or, might need to pick up the phone and call somebody, call a coach, call your mama, call a cousin. It's just, you got to be able to have that space to where, okay, I can be a football player, but at the same time, I'm still human, because at the end of the day, if something go bad, whose name's going to be all on the headlines? It's going to be yours. And so you got to know how to handle that situation. So if you do mess up, if something do happen where it don't go your way and it look bad in the image, how do you come back from that? How do you succeed at this level and how do you make it to the next level? Because at the end of the day, you know, this league right here, I would think the end of the day goal is be able to play against the NFL, have some NFL guys come here and make this league just as better as the NFL.
Of course. Trent, I need to ask you lastly, you're leaving Chihuahua tomorrow. Do you feel like you'll be back?
I definitely do feel like I'll be back, and my kids already told me I need to get a place here because they want to come and be around. But I definitely, man, this place hold a special place in my heart, man, because, you know, just being around the owner, being around the coaches, everything that he's putting into Chihuahua and into Mexico is everything I believe in. And these guys here are special. You never see guys like these guys here. And Chihuahua is a special place, man. I can't believe I haven't been here before. It's a lot of places I haven't been, but man, I wish I would have been to this trip.
That's awesome, man. Well, Trent, thanks so much for your time, and thank you for your insight. Great answers, man. It was an honor interviewing you, man. Thank you.
Please, appreciate you, man. You gotta keep teaching me some more Spanish, man. I gotta, work on my.
We'll make sure of that.
Gracias.
Gracias, amigos.